Hello. I I'm not sure what day it is. I decided this morning I'm gonna have to go through my videos and figure that out. But today was a really good morning. I finished a chapter in the Teachings on Love by Thich Nhat Hanh, which I didn't think would happen. I thought that I would be in this chapter possibly forever. So that was good. It felt good to finish the chapter. But the chapter that I read, or the last couple pages of the chapter that I read today, were probably hit me some like the deepest of the reading that I've done so far. There were some of the most, I don't know, it was some of, I guess for me, because there was a lot of personal, it felt very personal to me today. The reading was about people that, I'm not sure who the people in the story or in the book are in the stories. I don't know if they're like monks in training or if they're regular people that just travel to this place that Thich Nhat Hanh is, but he talks about it kind of like a school. Maybe it is. I don't know. But they do these regular progressive meditations about that kind of go into their history and help them to become better at these love meditations, basically. And the end of this chapter ends with one of the meditations that they have the students do, and that is to meditate on yourself as a 5-year-old and to see yourself as that 5-year-old and then smile at yourself and feel love toward yourself. And that, for me, was really powerful because in a couple of years ago, probably more than that, actually, probably like 7 years, I don't know, probably like 7 years ago or more, I had this experience. I was trying to kind of figure out in myself some of the things that really affected me as a kid, because children don't have the understanding that adults do. They don't understand in a moment that maybe my parent was just having a tough day, or maybe they were busy, or maybe they didn't know what to do in the moment, and so they just reacted. So, and as a child, you don't stop and go, oh, this is just like a weird thing, or maybe it's not as bad as I think it is because I'm just having a bad day myself. As a kid, you take everything very to heart and very seriously. So I was, a couple of years ago, I was like kind of doing the same thing, like meditating on myself as a 5-year-old or a kid. And I uncovered this memory that I think deeply shaped me as a person. It was a memory that was so short in time, but the impact was so significant. And the memory was that I was a kid, and my brothers, I have 2 brothers that are both older, they were working on something, a treehouse or something, and I'm not quite sure what that thing was. It was I think it was the door or part of a treehouse that they were working on. And they were stumped about something. And I looked at it and I just kind of saw it and knew what needed to be done. Like, I could see the solution to their problem. And I was 4 or 5. And so, and they, they were like 6 and 10 or maybe older. My oldest brother is much older. Was much older. But they kind of weren't listening to me, and then I kind of pushed my way in there and started saying, what I thought it was. And my dad pulled me away and said, the boys are working on this. And as a kid, what I heard was, you're not a boy, and you're not really worthy of being part of this conversation. And that was definitely my child understanding. My child heart misinterpreted that majorly. And I took this really deeply to heart. And I know that moment shaped a lot of my understanding as a kid and as an adult. And I was able to go back into that moment and kind of erase the effect of it, I guess. And that was a major part of my healing as an adult. So today, I think the reason that it was kind of like the next level of understanding was because Thich Nhat Hanh was talking about doing that. And of course, this memory and this healing came to mind. And then he said, now visualize your parents as 5-year-olds and smile at them. And he said, because every person, when they were young, was affected by this lack of mindfulness in their parents. And to be honest, dogs, I had never really thought about them or about them as kids. Sorry, my dogs. I had never dived into that part of it. It was about my own healing, And I think even reading it, like I wasn't even doing the meditation, but just reading it, I realized that this was like something that I had missed, and thinking about myself and my healing. Obviously, I haven't had time to totally unpack this. But it was just like a really amazing moment. Like, I think that I was able to go back and comfort myself for that moment and be like, that was crazy and it was what it was, but it doesn't have to shape who you are, and you don't have to feel unheard or feel like not good enough. But what I didn't do was forgive my father. I didn't think of it, to be totally honest. And there's stuff like that, with my mom too, and my brothers, and it just, I don't know why it didn't occur to me. And I'm such an empath, and that's why this is hitting me so hard. But yeah, I just never thought to do that. So yeah, it was a day of forgiving people. And and it was really good. And of course, a lot to take in. And yeah, y'all should get this book if you haven't heard of it. Here it is. If you didn't get it yet in the 2 weeks that I've been doing this. So yeah. I love you. And have a good day.